Hey guys, Angry Joe here, and I'm with Brian, the creative director on Spider-Man. So many of you guys have been impressed with the game, and you guys wanted me to get an interview for it. So here it is. Let me do a little bit of your job for you.
Sure, go for it.
Just played the demo twice because it was so good. Good. Man, that combat is insane.
Oh, cool. We've been working really hard on it.
Really perfected that thing.
Thanks. It's definitely something we worked really hard at. You know, I mean, we really wanted to push the acrobatic nature, the sandbox nature of the gadgets, the environment interactions, the webs, the melee, kind of let you have a lot of choice. So,
and not only that, but the traversal, the web slinging feels good. In fact, I dare to say this is the best web slinging. It's the best
thank you.
It's the best. So combat the best, traversal the best. Those things I'm not worried about, so we don't need to talk about
Okay,
them.
so now so you're just buttering me up.
Yeah, I'm buttering you up.
Okay,
now I'm going to hit you with the hard stuff.
Okay, hit me.
Like, is this more, how linear is it going to be? Is it, you know, in terms of, you know, the story?
So, I think if you look at the game structure, it's very similar to other open world games.
Right.
You know, you have your
main
activities, you have your main story, you have your main, like, for example, like when the press conference, we showed Raft, right? That's a mission from our main story, right? But we also, in between those missions, you can, like right now, like you see people, they're just out there exploring the open world and swinging through New York City, trying out different activities. That's kind of the flow of the game. It's like, if you want to beeline the main story, go for it.
What kind of activities can we do?
So, right in this demo, we showed off a bunch of different, you know, the Fist demon bases, which are more combat heavy. We have random crimes that pop up. We have research stations, which were actually run by Harry Osborn, Pete's best friend, which are more kind of quest oriented. And then we have like a backpacks, which are more of collectibles.
I have played the random crimes, and I won't give you props. It didn't feel like just randomly placed, you know, baddies in an area. It actually felt directed. A tiny
just
little
enough.
story.
Yeah, and the other thing, which
and I was like, wow, because
cool.
the camera moved in a different direction during a store robbery.
Well, the other thing too is like they're dynamic. Like, for example, like you could be swinging through, and then you get to know, oh, hey, there's a drug deal going down. Now the drug deal could be in an alley. Yeah. Now sometimes the thugs will be like, "We're going to take down Spider-Man, and bum rush you." Then sometimes
they take off.
Sometimes they just take off.
That's
like
awesome.
Sometimes they'll a couple of them will fight.
You can beat them up as they run away.
Yeah. Well, my favorite actually is they'll sometimes start to get in the car and run away. And if you web them, you can actually web them to the car. And if one guy gets in the car, you'll see that the car drive away with the enemy webbed against the car. So it's
the physics in this game
really
are
fun.
Amazing. Like,
cool.
My jaw drops when I look at the different web physics and the way the enemies get attached to different things.
Yeah.
So really well done there. But a lot of people are wondering how substantial is the game? How long is it? They want to be in this world a long time. What's the story length like?
I think it's pretty long. I mean, if you're asking for a number, I'm not going to give you a number because it just depends. I mean, it just depends on your play style. But I think it's a pretty hefty. You know, if you just do the main story. Yeah. But then also there's a lot.
Could you continue to play?
We actually let you continue to if you want to finish your side content afterwards. And actually, so. We pretty much for the as you play through the main story, we kind of we use time of day and weather to kind of set a mood. Oh, okay. But after you finish the game, you can change time of day and weather anytime you want.
And all that
well, it's actually not a true day-night cycle. It's more like we set it up, and then when you go to research stations afterwards, and you can say, "Oh, I want it to be nighttime," and you can change nighttime, or I want it to be
really
raining.
Cool.
Just give you more options.
Yeah. So obviously you've shown a lot of villains off, and we had a hidden cameo. We couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Everybody's wondering what specific ones. Like, do we got Venom in here? Do we got Doc? Or what? You know.
I think you're gonna have to play.
How about this? I'll ask it like this: about how many villains are in this game?
More than you've seen so far.
More than 10.
More than you've seen so far.
More than 10? You could do more than 10.
More than you've seen so far.
Damn it.
Well, I don't know if our developer team would be, you know, but I think
it's more than 10.
I think we have a pretty good amount of villains in the game. Okay. I think people were asking us if they were hoping if we would show a new villain E3. I'm like, well, how about 4? How about we show you 4 new villains?
No, you guys delivered. So talk a little bit about the crafting. This is something new.
Yeah, so right? I think it plays into two things. One, so we basically have two kind of ways to customize Spider-Man. You have you're an XP and you're in skill points. So you can spend them on new skills and abilities. But then we really wanted to play up Pete's ingenuity, his crafting. So as you do these open world activities, you'll earn like these tokens. It's basically currency. Each one kind of there's crime tokens, there's research station tokens, all the different activities. And what you do is you use that to craft new suits, suit power, and most of the suits come with a suit power. And what's cool is you actually can take a suit power off one of the suits and put it onto another one. So actually, right, we're showing the Web Blossom here. The Web Blossom actually is attached to another suit in the game, but you can customize it. Then you can craft new gadgets. You can upgrade the gadgets. You can add suit modifications. So
it really seems like you guys have thought of everything. We got customization, traversal.
We tried.
Combat,
well, we know the expectations are pretty damn high for this game.
Cinematic. You know, a lot of people at first when they weren't sure about the game, they're it's going to be two-directed and it's a QTE. It's not, guys.
There's not a lot of. The QTE thing is
like this has the potential to be a 10 out of 10 legendary. From what I
hope
played.
So. We're working really hard. We're working really hard.
Well, can you talk about? Is there anything like what did you put in this game that probably isn't in any other game? Well, obviously a lot of those things that we talked about, but what's that like extra thing that you yourself was like, and it doesn't even have to be a mechanic, what did you want to make sure was in the game?
I think the big thing for me, as a creative director, I would say the big thing for me was...
Stan Lee up in here somewhere?
I think the big thing for me was I'm a big fan of the Marvel movies, and I obviously grew up on the comics. I feel like what the movies have done such a good job of is they show the other side of the superhero. Like, we always want to be the superhero, right? We always want to be the fit, but I think what makes those movies and the comics so popular is they show the human side of the story. So I'm really impressed what the team has done to show the Peter Parker side. So for me, it's as much about the man, the mask, as much as the man in the mask and then behind the mask, and to really deliver a great story, even if it didn't have superheroes in it.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the most requested questions is, in addition to Spidey, do we get missions centered around Peter Parker? We've seen a little bit, but how substantial is that?
I mean, I think it's hard to put a number on it. I would say it's not. I mean, you're majority playing Spider-Man, right? But we do have moments in the game where you're going to work as Pete. You're going to visit Aunt May at Feast as Pete, and there's activities you're going to have to do as Peter. So, and we've even announced that Mary Jane is playable at certain points in the game. So
okay.
So I mean, I think
when do we
for us, I think the thing for me is we wanted to deliver. I call it a 360-degree superhero experience. Show you as a superhero, show you as the human side, but also show what is it like if you're not a superhero in a superhero world.
How proud are you of this game?
This is a career highlight, for sure. And I hope on September 7th I can say it's
so good.
It's pretty cool.
So are we going to see any cameos, any surprises, some Iron Man, Stan Lee?
I would say right now we're focused on creating a great Spider-Man game.
I can't think of anything else to ask. It seems like we've hit almost everything. Interesting side. We already talked about that. Are there stuff like races and collecting comic books or anything like that we've seen in previous Spider-Man games?
I think people have collected comic books enough.
Yeah. But are there interesting collectibles at all?
I mean, I think I would look at the backpacks and see what happens when you open the backpacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't shown what's
they're
with the backpack?
They're in there. That basically
they
help. Basically, they're different items that kind of give you more of a backstory of what's been going on in Pete's life for the last 8 years.
Okay, man. Yeah. Wow. I cannot wait for this game.
You pretty much covered it, man.
I'm telling you, this thing is really good.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I can feel the passion and energy, the physics, man, everything. Just the little... You've made combat not only interesting within itself, between the people, but also using the environment.
That was
and that's
really important to
key
us.
with Spider-Man.
It was really important to have the environment around.
Hell yeah.
It was really important. It was really, really important.
I
mean, one thing is, we really show off this. You could actually
go ahead. Let's do it.
There's also, outside of, right now a lot of the combat we're showing is in the heat of battle. But there will be moments where you can slow things down and take things more methodically, take a more stealth-like approach, and take things out without actually alerting enemies.
Yeah, it does, and it feels because of today's technology, the city really does feel alive. I know that a lot of people say that, when they're trying to sell you the game,
important to us.
It feels alive, but it does, and it's packed, and it's just because of the amount of detail that has gone into what I've seen here. It's crazy. How long did this game take to develop?
A while. It's been in development for a while.
Well,
Yeah.
it's you see it. It's in the work, and all positive, man. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the support.
Yeah. Remind us again when it comes out.
September 7th this year.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking the time
Appreciate
to
it.
speak with us, and we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.